Okay, guys. So let me first start off by saying, for anyone listening to the recording, it is October 8th, which is crazy. It's the first full week of October, and it's an exciting time because we're starting to see the summer come to an end, and people, I think, start to come around and start to think about the holidays. So there's a lot to consider with that. But I'm not even going to get into that because I've got an exciting topic tonight. So before I do that, I just wanted to give a shout out to Aslin O'House, I think I'm saying that correctly, who is already at SC10. So Aslin, I know you're going to be listening to the recording because I don't think you're on here right now, but I would love for you to share some tips with us in our team page, and I will tag you in the team page and mention that as well. But you are kicking it butt. Aslin signed up a couple of months ago. She recently went emerald in her business. Her challengers are having amazing results, and she just has a really good momentum going. She had great results with the 21-day fix, and now, if I'm remembering correctly, and who knows with mommy brain, but I'm pretty sure I'm thinking of the right thing when I think her aunt signed up to be a coach. Her aunt lost 18 pounds in round 1 of the 21-day fix, and then 19 pounds in round 2, and then her mom just signed up to be a coach, and her dad's getting on board. So it's like a family affair, and she's just rocking it. So she is doing awesome. I know a lot of you, I should say, are doing really well at the start of the month. We've got people who are very close to Success Club. I want to say Megan said Cheryl was already at SC6. It's not coming up on my downline yet. Awesome. So yeah, you guys are rocking it, and I'm excited for the upswing we're going to start to see. It's not going to come easily. I mean, as you know, consistency is the name of the game, and if you were planting those seeds all summer, then you're going to start to see them bloom, if you want to continue with that metaphor. If you listen to the National Wake Up Call that Carl did on Monday, that's what it was all about, planting the seeds now, because you're going to have people who are ready to commit. And if they're not ready to commit, they're going to be after the new year. So he talked on the National Wake Up Call. If you didn't catch that, you have to listen to it. I have to tell you, and again, I have a lot to say, but really quickly, I got in the car yesterday, and like I had mentioned, I just went back to work this week, and I get in the car and I turn on the radio, and the Z100 morning show comes on, and it's like talking about Victor Cruz cheating on his fiance or something, and it's like all this like nasty whatever, like, the girls were wrong, no, he was wrong, and then people calling in, and I'm like, whoa, I can't even start my day like this. So I shut off the radio, pulled out my phone, turned on my podcast, and listened to Carl's Wake Up Call. And I am so glad I did, because I went from Victor Cruz trashy cheating to Carl Deichler on fire. Holy moly. He was like fired up, so excited. And I was like, I got to work pumped. In fact, I pulled out my phone once I got to work and listened to it again. And I'm actually going to go back and listen again and write down, because there were just such great like little nuggets of information. And he was just so pumped. So if you didn't listen to that, listen to it. And like I said, he was just talking about planting the seeds. And he actually mentioned something about a visual that he was going to post that was actually like a field where you could like write down people's names as your seeds. So if you want to check that out, and I'll see if I can find the link to post to that visual. Also, really quickly, another announcement, if you didn't hear, they just announced today that they're launching Shakeology Cafe Latte, which is like a coffee flavored Shakeology that's set to come out in January. I don't know what's going on, but Hammer and Chisel's coming out. I think that's December. So I don't see those rolling out together necessarily. But in addition to that, I don't know if you guys have heard, but if you are familiar with the Les Mills programs, if you did like Body Combat or I'm drawing a blank, holy crap, I used to do it all the time, Body Pump, then one of their trainers for that system, the Les Mills system, which Beachbody has now separated ways from, one of their trainers was named Jericho, and Beachbody has just signed her on as one of the new celebrity trainers. So there's going to be a new program coming out with her in the new year. So the new year is going to bring a lot of exciting things, a new Shakeology flavor, Hammer and Chisel, and then Jericho is going to be coming out with something. So I don't know what that's going to be, but lots of exciting stuff. You want to stay plugged in. All right. let's get to the meat of the call. So, you know, I call it like bipolar coaching. So one week I'm like, I'm on top of the world. I'm going to be an elite coach and everything is wonderful. And the next thing I'm like, oh my God, my business is crashing. What's going on? So I have like been just trying to get out of this funk. And I was talking to one of my success partners, my girlfriend, Melinda, who is a coach and she lives in California. And she asked me if I had heard of Eric Worre's 20 in 30. So I don't know if any of you, I can't see all of you, but has anyone heard of Eric Worre's 20 in 30? Okay. So anyway, I'll explain what it is in a second, but Melinda had asked me if I had heard of it. I said I had heard of it, but I would turn on the YouTube video, didn't get through the whole thing. So she presented this idea to me and I wanted to share it with you. So that's what our call is all about tonight. Basically, Eric Worre has a method called 20 in 30, which means you recruit 20 people in 30 days to your business. And it's go hard, go all in, just crazy, game-changing, mindset-changing stuff. So I was intrigued when Melinda mentioned this to me, and she had mentioned that she was talking to her coaches about it. And on Monday, they're going to start just like a group, like something really informal, but an accountability for coaches for this Eric Worre 20 and 30 program. And it's based on statistics, and it's just awesome. So the thing is, like I said, I had turned on the video a few times and I had started watching it. And then I was like, it was just a lot to wrap my head around. But there is a coach who is a 2-star coach. She is in California also, and she did a call about how she took the Eric Worre 20 and 30 and she adapted it to create scripts that were specific to Beachbody. So she's done that work for us, which is amazing. So what I want to do on this call tonight is a little bit different. I'm going to screen share the recording from her call so that we can all sit here together and dissect this Eric Worre plan. And then what I'll do also is after the call, I'm going to upload to our team page the scripts that she then created. And so what we can do is then after we listen to her call, we can talk about how we can make it work for our business. And I really think that if we do this, we're going to see like a huge change. I really, truly do. I mean, I hope you guys in listening to this are as pumped up as I am, because I feel like this is the push that I need. This is like, rip the Band-Aid, get over my fears, put it out of my mind. This stuff works. We've got an awesome opportunity to share with people, and you just need to, have the right tools to make yourself confident in doing so. So hopefully you love it as much as I do. That being said, what I will do, like I said, is I'm going to screen share. We're going to watch her recording, which I will then post as well as the recording to this and her scripts, and we'll talk about it. And then if you're in, we'll kick off on Monday with this method, which you'll understand more about in a second. So let me screen share and then bear with me to pull it up, and then we'll rock and roll. And if you don't have a pen and paper, you're going to want one. So here we go. Okay. Thumbs up if you can see that. All right, I'm going to make it bigger. And then
today, Ashleen.
Okay.
How do I say your last name?
Kaino. So it's kind of like casino without the S.
Oh, I love it. Thank you
Are you able to hear that?
so much. She's going to be talking on recruiting business builders, because within this business, obviously that's what you need to recruit to duplicate yourself. But a little bit of a background on Ashleen. I know that we kind of said this off of record, but it was her 5-year anniversary to her amazing husband, Diego, and they have an adorable 3-year-old son. 3-year-old?
1.5, but close enough.
1.5. Oh my gosh, Gabriel. I know, at least know his name, right? But 1.5-year-old son, and she does live in California. She's also a certified, I love this, holistic energy healer. Holy moly. So that is absolutely incredible. She leads with this business very spiritually, and it has been very beneficial, obviously for her, as well as she is by far one of the most kind, sweet, compassionate people I've ever met. So I'm so excited that you get the opportunity to talk today on recruiting business builders. Go ahead. It's all yours.
Okay, no pressure at all. Thank you for that intro. I kind of felt like I was on the national wake-up call for a second. Yeah, no. Okay, so first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about me and who I am, and then I'll get stuck into my topic, which is about recruiting business builders. So first of all, I have been a coach for 3 years, but I would say only in the last year and a half have I really decided to take it seriously and really dive in with it, go all in. I'm a 2014 Premier Coach at Two Star Diamond, and a little bit about me. So I don't know if any of you've noticed, but I have an accent because I'm from Ireland. I've lived in this country for 6 years. So I'm actually from Northern Ireland. Hear it? It came out. So yeah, I'm Northern Irish, and I've lived here for 6 years. And so me starting this as a Beachbody coach, I kill all the objections when it comes to I don't know anybody, because I literally knew nobody. Okay, my network was super small whenever I became a coach. So I got married, so I just knew my husband and our roommates. That was it, because I wasn't legal to work for quite a long time, for 2 years. And when you don't work, you can't really make friends that easily as an adult. So when this opportunity came into my lap 3 years ago, I just really wanted to be a coach for accountability purposes. Beachbody actually came into my life 4 years ago. I was never into fitness. I was really kind of against it in a weird way. I wasn't super overweight. I was kind of skinny fat, so I had 20 pounds to lose. But being from Ireland, I got into smoking at a young age, 14, drinking at a young age. And that's just kind of what I did. I skipped gym class from as young as I can remember, because I used to get picked on a little bit in school, and gym class is the worst place you can be if you get picked on. So I just always skipped it. I was never fit, hated fitness, didn't want anything to do with it. Tried everything, pills and all that kind of stuff. And eventually I just saw Insanity. And what happened was, the reason why I actually started Insanity was my husband and I got married, but I still had to go back to Ireland for immigration purposes to wait for my green card. So we were separated for 5 months by immigration. He couldn't come over and I couldn't come to the US. And I was very, very depressed. It was awful. It was a really long time. And so I decided, right, I need something to focus on. And I decided to do this crazy thing called Insanity. And it was the first time I ever stuck to anything. And it changed my life. Like, it really changed everything, because I actually found that passion for fitness. I got it. I understood why people love fitness. I wasn't judging fitness people anymore. And I just started screaming it from the rooftops, because I figured if someone like me, who was so anti-fitness, could really get so passionate and fall in love with it and get such great results, then I knew there was hope for everyone, and I needed to reach those kinds of people. So that's really where it began for me. And so like I said, I just dove in last year after I had my baby. Got really good results with the 21-day fix, managed to get myself on the infomercial and all of that. So it's been really, really good. I'm not one of those people that flew out the gates. I mean, it took me about 4 months to hit Success Club, but slowly but surely just been getting there, and not giving up, just making the goals bigger every year. And that's just what you got to do. Not everyone's story is running out of the gate. There's going to be crazy ups and downs. That's what I've learned, but just keep going and just keep learning. And so that's why I'm going to share a little bit about what I've actually been doing recently to start bringing in more business builders into my organization. So have any of you come across the Eric Worre GoPro Recruit 20 People in 30 Days webinar? There's some yeses and some nos. Okay, this is gold. Okay, there's a webinar online by Eric Worre, who does GoPro. It's about an hour long, and it's all about how to just get out there and get business builders. And that's what I really needed to do for my business recently. I went from 3-star qualifying a month or 2 ago, and then it just crashed really drastically, and I went on the diamond. It was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I was like, okay, I need to get some serious business builders in here. And so this month in September, I decided to go all in and just go bananas to try to get these 20 business builders in 30 days. So I'm going to share to you my strategy I've been using. It's similar to Eric Worre's, but I've tweaked it to suit Beachbody, because the Eric Worre method is for any network marketing company. And I think we'll find with a lot of that stuff like GoPro, it doesn't fully fit Beachbody, because Beachbody is a little bit more like helping people, not lead with the opportunity or product so much. It's more about leading with the challenge, the accountability sort of angle. So I tweaked it a little bit to make it work for us, and that's why I'm actually really excited to share it. So I'm going to do screen share, show you some stuff. Bear with me. It will all come together. Okay, I promise. Okay, let me just, if anyone has any questions, just leave them to the end and I'll answer them, because I'm going to close the chat box for a while. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So for starters, if you Google the hottest recruiting scripts in MLM, you're going to find this really amazing script that Eric Worre wrote. So it's basically the 8 steps from the GoPro book, but it's a script on how to really use this opportunity and how to approach people purely for the business perspective. So I'm not talking about going and grooming your challengers or anything. Obviously, they can make amazing coaches too. But sometimes we want to reach out to other people who aren't involved in Beachbody but want the opportunity to succeed. So a little background on how this all works. So you don't need to go bananas and get 20 people in 30 days, by the way. This method will work for you even if you just want to invite 2 to 5 people a day. You can still use it. So I'm going to sort of talk about both. But the idea behind, there's like a formula. This is the way Eric presents it. So if you're going to recruit 20 people in 30 days, you need to make a list of 300 people to connect with. And so I decided, screw it, I'm just going to write down everyone, the first people I come across in my friends list. I'm not going to judge or anything like that, just as long as they're not coaches, obviously. I just put down a list of 300 people, wrote it out, no judging, just picking them and going for it. So out of those 300, the idea is 150 will respond. Actually, let me tell you right now. So his script actually talks about doing this all by calls. My method is not doing that. It's actually doing it more through Messenger. And the reason why I adapted that is, well, that works a lot for us as Beachbody coaches. But I went to Eric Worre's network marketing event last year, and he's starting to pull away from the idea of getting people on the phone. He said that at the training, he said that most people actually screen their calls and they don't answer them anymore because it's usually just spam call, right? So the best thing to do is to text message someone or to send them an instant message, and most people will actually reply. So this is totally for doing it through Messenger. So that's the one big difference with the script. He talks about calls, but we're doing this through Messenger. So anyway, he says out of the 300, 150 people will respond to you. Now, I've found for me, it's been more than that have actually responded initially whenever I reach out to them. So don't get ahead of me here. I'm going to explain exactly what you're going to send to them and what they will respond to and what we're inviting them to. So I'm just giving you the statistics here. So out of the 150 responses, 90 will agree to actually have an appointment with you to chat about what it is you want to talk to them about. Out of those 90, 60 to 70 will check out the business presentation that you're going to send them. And out of them, 30 to 40% will sign up. So those are the numbers. Out of the 300, you should end up with 20 people. Okay, so here's something to think about. The reason why he likes to do this is he says, rather than going slow and steady in the business, success favors speed. So that's why you should be going absolutely nuts if you're going to do this in the 30-day style. Get this list of 300 people and just go bananas every day doing nothing but inviting people to the business opportunity. And if you do it this way in 30 days, he says that out of those 20 people that will join, I'm getting some crazy feedback here. Is someone off mute?
Yeah, everybody mute yourselves, please. Thank you.
Thank you. So out of the 20 people who are going to join, he says that 12 of them will do something, because we all know when people join, they don't necessarily do anything. Out of those 20, 8 will go on to become quite solid leaders over a space of 90 days. And then of those 8, 4 of those people over the next 12 months will be solid business builders, bringing in 90% of your income. And out of those 4, 1 will be doing over 50% alone. So there's a major leader right there. So out of those 20 in total, over the space of 2 to 5 years, you're going to have 2 major leaders in the organization. That's the statistics. So that's why you have to do the 300 in the 30 days if you're going to go balls to the walls. Okay, so I'm going to show you this script. The little drop down thing appeared. Move out of the way so I can get my tab. There we go. Okay, so this is the idea behind it. So he gives you multiple ways of approaching people, such as you can approach people directly and say, hey, I have an opportunity for you. Or what I favor is the indirect approach, where it's more like, hey, do you know of someone? So that way I found it as being really, really successful for me, that most people aren't just immediately thinking I'm going for them, but I'm actually just asking them for advice. Like, hey, can I get your input on this? I'm looking for some people which you know of. So I'm going to share my exact script with you guys after I show you this. This is just how I put my script together. Okay, So these are the steps. So step 1, it says be in a hurry. So this is all about not hanging around and having a conversation. You want to compliment the prospect before you even make the invite. Then you make the invitation. And then step 4 is the if I would you, which I use in absolutely all my scripts anyway. Even if it's a challenger, I always am like, if I sent you a video, would you watch it? So that's super important. And then just getting the time commitment, confirming the time, getting the time again a 3rd time, and then just getting off the chat really, really fast. Okay, so here he is, step 1, be in a hurry. So it's broken down here. You can see for warm market prospects. So this is like your friends and family. You can say certain things like, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it was really important I reach you, and so on. Cold market prospects, now isn't the time to get into this, but I have to go, but. So it's just like telling you how to form these entire sentences. I'm not going to read all of them out because that would just be a waste of time. And then he says, go in with the compliment. Okay, so you're saying the first bit, I don't have a lot of time, and then you can go in with saying something like, you've been wildly successful, and I've always respected the way you've done business. I mean, that can work for someone that you are actually terrified of approaching the opportunity about. I did this with a few people that I put off my entire 3 years, inviting them to the business opportunity. And so I use this method of trying to go to them and say like, hey, look, I know you're absolutely fantastic at what you know, and that's why I want your input on this. So it's my way of getting them to check out what I have to say. So butter them up, so to speak. That's the warm market way, and then there's other ways. Like if you really don't know them, he gives you some scripts to say as well. So it's not so much like you're successful because you might not really know that. Step 3, make the invitation. So like I said, I've been doing it in more of a really indirect way, and I'm going to show you right now. Let me see. Sorry, this little screen share thing keeps dropping down and it's not allowing me to switch tabs. There we go. Okay, so when you told me you're serious. All right, so for example, he has a bit of a script here that says, when you told me you were serious about, you know, the business opportunity, were you just kidding around? I actually used this with a few people, not all of the people. The reason why I used it was before I decided to do these 20 and 30 days, I put out a post, a business recruiting post out on my Facebook, just saying, if I were to post a 30-day mentorship, would you be interested in looking into the business? Whatever it was, I wasn't doing it to directly invite. I was testing the waters to see who would like the post, and then I actually went to them with this. So I knew they were already interested, so for me that makes them warm market. So I was like, hey, when you liked my post, were you serious or were you just kidding around? And I waited for their answer. And then if they were like, yeah, I was like, great, okay, I think I found a solution. Now obviously the stuff he says here is a little bit more like, I found a way for you to get it, blah, blah, blah. You need to tweak some of these words to fit Beachbody, which is what I'm going to show you in my script in a second. But the idea is everything is here for you. Like, are you still looking for a job? I found a way for both of us to start a great business. That works if you're a newer coach, maybe not necessarily more as a leader, as this group is full of leaders. Or even, do you keep your career options open? That was one I tried a couple of times, and it worked really good too. It's like, I know you're doing really, really well in your career, but do you keep your options open? So there's lots of different ways you can work it depending on the person. So let me fly through this a little bit. This is the one I favored the most, and this is what I'm going to show you on my script. Super indirect. So it's not even indirect, it's super indirect. So I've been saying to them, the business I'm clearly in isn't for you, but I wanted to ask you, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited about the idea of adding more cash flow? That's a little bit hardcore, I feel, for Beachbody. So I changed it a little bit to be more like, okay, I wanted to ask you for some input. Who would you know that would be looking to earn a little extra money, and so on. I actually merged it with the second one too. So the issue with going with the indirect approach when going to anyone, so I've been saying, hey, would you know of anyone? But I'm actually inviting them. And the reason why you're doing that indirect approach is because it's a way of getting them to check out the information, right? Without them right away wanting to feel like, oh my gosh, this person's trying to sell me something. So, but then that can backfire also. Oh my gosh, this wee tab won't go away and I can't get my tab open. Does anyone else have these issues with Zoom? Let me see if I can close a bunch of these and get it to open. Haha, found it. Okay. So, of course, right, some people are like, oh, I don't know of anyone. And right away you're like, oh no, crap, what do I say now? I'm actually inviting them, but I'm indirectly doing it. So that's where I went in with the second little part there, where I was saying, okay, well, would you be looking to actually make any extra money? So I'm going to show you this right now. So it'll all fall into place. And you're like, what are you talking about, Ashley? Okay, so first of all, you need to invite people to an appointment. The appointment actually is the invite. So originally when you're messaging the person, so you're messaging the 300 people, remember the numbers? You're originally just reaching out and saying something like, hey, how are you? I'm super busy right now, but I have something I'd love to get your input on. Would you have time to chat at some point today? That's what you send to your 300 people, or you send to your 2 to 5 people a day. Doesn't matter. And then right away, almost everyone, I would say I had a far higher success rate. I had about 85% of people would get back and they're like, yeah, sure, what do you need? Because most people want to help you out. So then if they said they were free, I continued on into it. If they weren't free, we set up the appointment. The appointment's where you go in with the invite. So that's where you move in with the script completely. The appointment. I'm like, okay, hey, are you free to chat now? They're saying yes. And then I'm going in with the script. So I'm being in a hurry. I'm saying, awesome, I have a million things going on, but I'm glad I caught you. Thank you for giving me your time. You're super thoughtful. So that's the compliment coming in there. That seemed to work really well for me because it's like, hey, you're giving me your time. I'm very grateful for it. Giving them a compliment and just saying thank you. Then I go in with the actual invite and it's completely indirect. So I tweaked it and I said, I'm looking for 5 women to personally mentor this month. And I wanted to ask you, would you happen to know of anyone that might be looking for a health and wellness business they could run from their home? So you can see from the script there with Eric Worre, I tweaked this to be more like Beachbody. From there, people were either like, yes, I know of someone, or I'm interested, or they said no. And that's fine. People are allowed to say no, right? If they're not interested, cool, that's fine. Just eliminate it from the list. A lot of people don't let on if it's for them or someone else. They just say, yes, I might know of someone. So I just continue on. I'm like, okay, cool. Most of them are checking out the information for themselves, but they're not telling you that at that stage. Again, this is the other invite script that I use for the people who liked my posts. So I'm going to skip by that. So it says here, if they need to think or, yes, they know someone, just go on into it. Okay, I'm going to explain exactly what I mean. I'm sort of stumbling all over the place here. Right, so if someone just said, yes, I know of someone, I'm still kind of like, what do I say? Or they're like, I'm not sure. I can't think of anyone. I still want to invite them. So that's where I actually go in with a more direct invite. I've already spoke to them. They already know what I'm kind of asking. So then I say, great, my team is expanding in your area and I'm looking for some sharp people that might be interested in some additional cash flow. Would you be interested in learning more about it? That's a direct response. And right away, I was getting most of the people saying yes. At that point, they were basically admitting, okay, yeah, I'm the one who's interested. I don't think I had anyone say no at that stage. I either got the no's before or just later on when people had checked it out and saw it wasn't for them. So when they say yes, then you move into the if I, would you part, which is inviting them to watch your presentation. This is what the whole appointment is about. This whole conversation should take 5 minutes. You're literally saying, hey, I'm in a hurry. Thanks for your time. Would you be interested in learning more about what I do? And if I give you a link to an online presentation that explained it, would you watch it? That's it. So this is what I was saying. Great. If I give you a link to an online presentation that explained everything, would you watch it? They were all saying yes. So then right away, I'm letting them know. So this is my actual business opportunity webinar that I recorded. So I'm giving them the link to that. So I'm saying straight up, great, when do you think you can watch it? It's about 40 minutes long. I'm being really honest because I want them to lock themselves into a time and knowing that they have time to watch it. So I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, it's only a few minutes. I want them to seriously watch it and follow up with them. So I let them know how long it's going to be. At that point, they have to put themselves where they have to tell me when they think they can watch it. So they're saying things like, yeah, I can watch it at 7. And so this is where you reconfirm, like the script says here in GoPro. Okay, skip past this stuff a second. If I would you. And then, so that's where you're saying, if you would watch this, get the time commitment. When do you think you could watch it for sure? Okay, so I'm putting it in here. Okay, so if I follow up with you at 7:30, you will have watched it. You're reconfirming that at 7 o'clock, they're going to sit their butt down and they're going to have watched it because they know that you're coming back at 7:30 to talk about it. That is really, really important. I don't know if any of you guys do that in your actual invites for your challenge groups, I use that too to get people to actually watch the video. It's really powerful and has a high success rate. So again, they're going to say yes. I've never seen anyone back up at that point and say, oh no, I actually won't. So then at that stage, I'm just reconfirming again. I just say, great, sounds like a plan. Here you go. Talk to you this evening at 7:30 and get out. So this whole thing is a really super fast, easy process. That is it in a nutshell. I'm going to just come along. I take note of what time I have to follow up with them at. I come along at 7:30, and that's where I'm just going to say things like, what did you love about the video? You know, don't say the things like, what are your thoughts? Obviously, lead with the positive. You want them to talk about positive things. So I'm like, what did you love about it? And that's where they tell me all certain things, or they'll just say, no, it's not for me. But most of the people come back extremely interested, and they want to know more information, get on the phone, or they just say yes to signing up. So far, I've got 4 people this month who actually decided to do the sign up, but I have a list I can show you of a whole bunch of people on the fence that I just really need to keep following up and close down. I can't find it right now, but I have probably about 15 interested, and I haven't even finished my list of 300 yet. I've got about 150 into it because I went a little bit slower, but it's really, really effective, and these are people who purely want to work the business. So I mean, you can see how fast it is. Again, it's a quick run through. It's just, hey, are you free to chat? Yes. Awesome. I have a million things going on. Glad I caught you. Thank you. You're super thoughtful. I'm looking for 5 women to mentor in a health and wellness business, and so on. Then right away, you know, if they say yes, I'm really interested. Great. If I give you a link to an online presentation, would you watch it? Yes. Great. When do you think you can watch it? It's about 40 minutes long. I can watch it at 7. Great. So if I follow up with you at 7:30, you'll have watched it. Yes. You? Here you go. See ya, and get out. So that's it in a nutshell. It's really, really simple. It's really short, but I've found this to be super effective. I've been doing it the last few weeks on my team calls with my team members. I've been encouraging them to do that too, and they said that by far they favor doing this method over the regular inviting someone to a challenge. It's super successful. It's really easy. It's really, really fast. Like, you just get in and you get out, and you're bringing people who want to work the business, which is what we all want, obviously. You know, you want to be really getting people in there, not necessarily discount coaches, people that are going to really want to make a difference with this. And something Eric Worre said at the GoPro conference last year, or it wasn't him, it was another speaker, some $1 million earner, whatever, that she said something that stuck out of my mind. And she said, look, you got to stop looking at this as a burden that you're annoying people with. You need to realize that this is like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and you've got the golden ticket. And it is your duty to share that golden ticket, to give other people this opportunity. It's not your right to decide yes or no before inviting anyone. It's not your place to prejudge who will say yes and who will say no. You invite them and you let them decide. But you're going to go to bed at night feeling good that you're giving everyone the opportunity to say yes or say no to whatever you're offering. But just know that you have something amazing, and don't feel like you're being silly or whatever about using this approach. I found it super friendly. All my people were just like, yeah, this is awesome, you know, and if they said no, they were still coming back with compliments saying, by the way, you did a really good presentation. And I actually had a few people say no, and they were like, but I really want to buy the challenge pack, because I explained all about Shakeology and challenge packs on the presentation. So I didn't get them for business, but I still got them as a challenger. So it's super effective, and something that a lot of us forget about the whole 3 vital behaviors of the invite. A lot of people think the invite is just inviting people to join the challenge. We're supposed to be inviting 2 to 5 people a day to the business opportunity as well. This is your method. This is your way of doing it. This is your way of pounding out 5 invites right away, saying, hey, can I chat to you about something today? And then just go with it. Set up that appointment when they're free to talk, and just ask them, are you interested in this? Let's talk. Here's the presentation. But the beautiful part about it is there's such minimal dialogue for you to stumble over yourself. You're just saying, hey, watch my stuff, and you let it do the talking. And that's it. It really does filter out who's serious and who's not, or who just wants to do a challenge pack. So that may not be new information to any of you, but that's my spin on the Eric Worre method of doing the 20 people in 30 days. I'd be happy to share my script with you all in the team page. As you can see, it's really short. It's really, really easy. And yeah, check out his webinar on how he breaks down how it works. But this is being tweaked to really suit our Beachbody style of more the multi-level helping, rather than just the products. Yes, who wants to get rich and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah. Oh, one more thing. You really got to keep an eye on who you're talking to and stuff. So I have like a little mini, very disorganized system, but I was keeping note of the initial appointments. So if someone was like, I can't chat now, but I can chat with anything, I had a little list and I wrote down their name and what time I was going to do the appointment with to go in with the invite to watch the presentation. And then I had another list of presentation follow-ups. So they told me they're going to watch it. They will be done by 7:30. So I'm like, okay, boom, got to follow up with 7:30. And so definitely be on top of your organization because you're talking to so many people. You're really going to forget who you're talking to. It's kind of happened to me. So stay on top of that. And then I even have a list for who is interested and then the list for yes to join. Anyway, as you can see, I'm a pen and paper girl.
Do you want to answer the questions in the chat? Because I know that there is a couple, and then of course, coaches, unmute yourself and ask away. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, let me see. Will you be willing to share this in the group? Yeah, okay, totally. So, as I said, totally going to share the script. Sharing is caring and all that. Thank you, so helpful. I'll be definitely sharing that with my team. Good. This is really empowering for your team. Like my team are so pumped about this right now. We had a kind of, I don't know if I should confess this, but I did my team call last night because it was my wedding anniversary. I had a glass of wine and I invited the team to come on and we sort of had like a drunken team call, but it was hilarious. And we were all talking about doing this. You should see the recording. Like by the end of it, we were like, I lost my train of thought. Like we didn't, yeah, it was hilarious, but it was a really good bonding experience. Now more people are like, oh, I want to get on next week and see what this is all about. But we were talking a lot about this yesterday and they were just saying the ones who are experimenting with it love it. It's working really well for them. Okay, does your team also use the presentation that you created? Yeah, so whenever I do the presentation, it's about join Team Shine. So I'm saying, you may know me or someone who is part of Team Shine invited you to this. So I make that very clear right at the beginning of my business presentation of we are a collective, we are a family, and just welcoming everyone, whether they're through me or through one of my downline. Those who say they're interested but don't have the funds to start up yet, how long do you keep actively following up with them yet? Sorry, I don't know why I said yet. I kind of go in with have you heard of the Refer 3, Get Yours Free idea? So this is really cool. So I've been doing this even with challengers. So when they're like, oh, I don't have money to afford the challenge pack, I let them know. I'm like, well, we actually have this thing called Refer 3, Get Yours Free. If you can find 3 people to sign up with a challenge pack, you will actually earn your money back, right? You're basically saying, like, if you can get 3 people, I'm going to sign you up as a coach so you can earn your money back right away for your challenge pack. You get it for free. So that's something I usually offer right away of, yeah, it's an investment, but if you got 3 friends, there you go, you got your money back right away. One of the big things I always emphasize to anyone who's interested in joining my team is I make it very clear that my number 1 priority from the start is helping them earn back their initial investment right away. And when they hear that, that's like the switch right there to yes. And that is truly what I'm about. I'm the one who hosts solo trainings on my team. I'm very OCD with that, so I just love to work with the newbies and build their confidence and just see them run with it and know that I actually am helping them get on the path to the highest chance of getting their money back right away. No one wants to be out of pocket. Of course, if they're still messing you around, it's like everyone else, the rule is follow up 3 times. That 3rd time, if you're still not getting anything, I just bless and release. I'm always here for you. If you decide the time is right, I'm always here. You're more than welcome to connect with me, but that's it. I mean, do I have any other questions? I hope this was okay. Good.
So helpful. Thank you. I don't have a question, but I really, really love all the stuff you said. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I absolutely loved yours last week. I actually implemented your form right away, and it worked really, really well. It actually, it brought out quite a few people, coaches on my team I haven't even heard from in a very long time, and they were filling this up with all this stuff. I kind of felt like I was becoming a therapist from that form. I'm like, I don't even know where to start with this, but it was really helpful, so thank you.
Yes, of course. I'm glad to hear that. I'm excited to tell you how I implement this and how it works.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. You just need to sit down and just do it like everything else in the business. But it'll become your favorite way. I actually said to my team, I don't think I want to lead with the challenges anymore. I think I just want to do this every day. I've been doing this every day for this entire month. Now, this is the 1 month I've been slower with Success Club. Unfortunately, I'm still at 4 points. Normally, I'm at about 30 by now. That's because all those people are kind of in that stage right now of I'm getting them closed. So I'm going to be really last minute this month, but it's trial and error. I'm going to keep doing this every month. I will start to tweak it and get them closed sooner and so on. But it's a great way to really run your business, just completely leading with the business.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not saying don't do challenges, but don't do challenges.
Hey now. I'm just joking. What other questions do we have?
Sweating.
I have a question. So when you bring on different coaches from different parts of the month, I'm trying to be systematic in the way I train them, and I have like a training that kind of starts on a certain day. How do you handle training new coaches? Do you just have it going on all month long, or do you just kind of have them holding off until your training starts? What's your process for that?
That's something I've actually just tweaked as of 2 weeks ago, so I can't give solid advice yet, but I pretty much just changed my basics from starting on the first Monday of every month to having it all placed in my actual group, and the files are there, and they can actually just start it right away in their own time. I haven't seen it.
All right, guys, I wanted to stop it there just because she kind of starts to go into different things. But I wanted to get your feedback. What do you guys think? What do you think of this idea? You can unmute yourselves. Anyone? No?
I
Nothing?
like it. I mean,
Hi.
it's
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know what to say, but I do like it. I do want to try it. It
Yeah.
can't hurt. And I never know what to say when I'm trying to recruit, so it's helpful that there's a script. And yeah, I don't know. It sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Cool. Who else was trying to talk? Meg?
No, I like it. I don't know if I could come up with 300 off the bat because I feel like there's a lot of people that I've already approached about this. Because then I go back in it. So kind of. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Oh, hold on. Wait. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying the 300 off the bat is kind of hard because I feel like there's a lot of people that I've asked already different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so the thing about that, like as I was listening to this for the first time this morning, like this, here's the thing. When I think about 300 people, I'm like, holy crap, how, you know? Even like when I think about 100, like, holy crap. And to be honest, even when I think about 10, like, holy crap, you know, like I honestly hate inviting. And so in listening to this, that's one of the things that she mentions. She's like, I literally pulled up my friends list and I picked the first 300 people I saw and I didn't prejudge. Because I feel like she was saying, you could easily be like, I'm not going to message them because this. I'm not going to message them because that. Like, you start giving them the excuse and the reason for no before you even talk to them, and you never know. And so I feel like it's not going to hurt. And the thing that I loved was that she said the indirect thing, like she's not going in saying, would you? It's like, do you know of anyone? So I feel like even if there's someone that you're like counting out, if you're saying, do you know of anyone? You could even say, hey, I know I mentioned this to you before, but do you happen to know of anyone? Like, and that's kind of, that might even help, because if you think about it, like when I think about the people who are on my team or the people who do my challenges, and I know I've said this to probably every person on this call, it's never who you think it is going to be. You know, it's never the people that you're going to consider inviting. It's always like, for me, a lot of my coaches have just kind of happened. Like, they just kind of have approached me. It's not necessarily someone that I expected, you know? So I feel like if you put that fear, like for me anyway, it's all about fear and it's all about prejudging in my own mind. So I feel like this is what I personally need to get past that. And so I'm going to really just stick with, like she said, pull up my friends list, write down 300 people, and what's the worst that's going to happen? They're going to think I'm crazy and they're going to ignore me, or they're not going to be like, F you, you know? So even if I just send it out and really indirect, do you know of anybody? They're either going to say yes or no, or they're going to ignore me, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the prejudging. I'm talking about people that I've already reached out to about coaching and they've told me no.
But have you said to them, like, do you know of anybody?
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could go back that way.
Yeah. Just be like, I know you're not interested,
Right.
but do you know of anyone else who is? And I feel like then that kind of takes pressure because, there's also a chance that at that time it was no. But maybe now it's like, you know what? I'm watching you and I'm seeing you're doing well. Why not? Why not give it a shot? I don't know. Not to like try to convince you.
No, I know. And not that I'm not convinced. I just can't
Right.
do that, like, when someone tells you no and then you're like messaging them again and you're like, hey.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And when I'm like picturing this in my mind, I'm literally picturing myself like almost blindfolded doing it. Like that's kind of how I'm going to go into it because it scares the crap out of me. But I know how badly I want to be successful. And I feel like this is what I need to do right now. Like this is it. And I think, just like a challenge group, I'm going to need like the accountability. So like, I don't know if you'd heard me mention on the beginning of the call, but Melinda, one of my coach friends, is going to be doing this with her coaches, and we're going to form like a group on Facebook and just kind of, we can all check in, nothing formal, but just like, hey, I did my, whatever.
I'm so excited, obviously, for this 2-Star Diamond Mastermind call. We have an amazing.
You good? I don't know where that came from. All right. I'm going to stop talking because I could go on forever.
So I wanted to say I had somebody, actually yesterday, somebody from, I think it's Roden and Field, the face company, a girl that was friends with like 4 or 5 people, like we had 4 or 5 mutual friends, and she reached out to me and she basically word for word used that script. And I got the message and I read it and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I'm like, I wonder if I can totally spin this a little bit and make it my own and I didn't respond right away. And because things got busy at my house. And so today she sent me back a message and she said, hey, I know things get really busy. Just wanted to check in. Did you get my message? I really look forward to hearing from you. And it was not intrusive. I didn't feel in any way like she was being pushy. And it was actually really nice. Like she had done a little bit of homework, looked at my profile clearly, like gotten some feedback, and I wanted to respond to her, and I was like, sorry, I can't do this. And she started off by saying, if you know someone or if you would be interested in, I would love the opportunity too. And, and I responded to her and I was honest with her. And, but I told her, I was like, listen, if I know anybody that's interested in that, I will most certainly refer them to you. And we had a very brief conversation. It was never anything long. It was never, it's taking too much time. And when I said no, she was like, all right, no big deal. We'll follow up in a couple of months. If there's ever anything, that you need, let me know. And that was that. But I felt very comfortable with it. And I was really intrigued by the way she had done that. So it was kind of amazing that you brought this up and that you did this, because I think it's definitely a great way of approaching people, especially if you're also trying to like expand your market and go outside of your comfort zone and really just reaching out to those mutual friends out there,
Yeah.
So.
Do you mind sharing could you screenshot that conversation and put it in our team page?
I most certainly can, yeah.
So 2 things about that. 1, well, maybe 3. I like to talk. I don't know if you guys realize. And I'm like, it's gone. So one thing is Rodan and Fields, they have like a very similar business model, I think, as far as training goes to us. Like I don't know if you guys saw, like I read that Rock Your Network Marketing book by Sarah Robbins. She is she's the top earner in Rodan and Fields. She was like one of the founding consultants. So if you haven't read that, Rock Your Network Marketing was the book that she wrote. And it's thin and it's a quick read and it's awesome. But a lot of the things that we do in Beachbody are related to what she suggests. So it's funny. I have a cousin through marriage that is a Rodan and Fields consultant. And when I'm like considering, ordering something, but like my face routine consists of like wash my face in the shower and put on like my kids' lotion. So I'm like reaching out to her and she is trying to convince me of like the cost of it because I'm super cheap. And she's like, but it's the cost of like your coffee at Starbucks every day. And I'm like, I have used that line. Like it's totally, there's an overlap. But the other thing is today, it's funny you mentioned that because today I got a message from a friend who sells Arbonne. And the thing that I love about this Eric Worre game plan is that it like she was saying on the call, it's get in, get out, go. Like it's quick. And like you said, it wasn't anything long or drawn out. And I think when we get long or drawn out, it's because we are either so excited that we word vomit or we are running their excuses through our head. So we're trying to combat them before they even have a chance to say them. So it's like, we're afraid they're going to say no. So we want to shoot down all those no's before they even say them. Does that make sense? So anyway, if you guys, I don't know if you can see this because it's my screen, but this is like, no, you definitely can't see this. Okay. Anyway, I got a message from this girl today about her Arbonne business and how she wants me to host a party for Arbonne at my house, but she's one of my Beachbody customers. Like she bought the 21 Day Fix. So it would totally be a conflict of interest and totally opposite, Evie, of what you had your experience with. It was like word vomit. It was like she was trying to really sell me on it. And I have not replied to her because I don't even know where to start because it was like a paragraph this long. And then it was like she sent that paragraph and then like 10 minutes later, it was like, and then by the way, if you host a party, there are hosting rewards. And like, it was like she knew, like it was like in her head, she knew I was going to say no. So she wanted to give me then something else. And that's the opposite of what we want to do. Like we want to be confident, we want to be quick, we want to be efficient. So I think if you could share that with us and I'll share these scripts, I think that it all kind of goes hand in hand with what we want to do. And I'm almost tempted, like I don't want to offend this girl because I know she's trying to build her business, but I almost want to share this with you guys. So it's like, don't do this. Please don't do this because it's the opposite. Like you had a warm feeling and it was natural. And this was like, no. I'm not going to have your party, you know? So it definitely makes a difference. And that's why, you know, we have to really be, systematic in the way that we do things and the way that we approach it. So I think I really like this Eric Worre idea. I really like the idea of 20 and 30. I really like the idea of, I like the numbers. Like I'm not a numbers person, but the numbers of breaking down to 300 and then going down to, if you think about it, 2. But those 2, if you like, that's a huge discrepancy, but that those 2 are like Melanie Mitro 2. They're not like Joe Schmo discount coach 2 out of 300. They're like rock star 2 out of 300. So that's pretty amazing to me. Yeah. And I also like I was just talking to a girlfriend of mine and I was like, have you heard of the Eric Worre 20 and 30? And she's same as me. She's like, I listened to it last year, but I was like, did you do it? She's like, no. She said, I feel like it's too tailored towards like calling people and the business and this and that and the other thing. And I said, oh, you have to listen to this call. So it's nice that this Ashleen has taken it and applied it to Beachbody because it's taken the legwork out of it for us. So I'm really excited about it. And I'm definitely, like I said, Monday going to start it off. So if you guys are with me, we're ready to go. Anyone else? No? Amanda? Cheryl? All right. Meg, anything else?
No, I'm just cracking up because Rob's sitting next to me going, Ruby coach. Ruby coach.
Tell him he better get his list of 300 together.
Know. I'm like, if you're so Ruby, get me one more so you can be diamond.
Yeah, right? Quit effing around, Rob.
That's it.
You can't be more successful than Meg.
What'd he say?
I can't be more successful than him.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys. So this is the plan. 20 and 30. If you are in, I'm going to post the recording. If you guys are in, if you have coaches under you and you want to tag them and let them know, I'll post this recording. I will post the recording to her call. I'll post the recording for Eric Worre. If you don't have GoPro, get it. And then I will post her scripts. Evie will post her thing. And I'm, like I said, I don't want to offend my friend, but I'm going to post this because I want you to know what not to do. So, I feel like this is the beginning of something really huge. I feel like this is really good. So I'm really excited. I hope you are too. And like I said at the beginning of the call, if you haven't listened to Carl, listen to it so you get as psyched up as I am. And I guess that's all we've got. We're good? All right. All right, guys. Have a good night.